This may come as a shock to you, but some of the greatest performers, whether with athletes, entrepreneurs, have the same struggles as us. They all struggle with self-doubt. They all struggle with not feeling good enough. And they all use this little secret tool that Todd Herman talks about in The Alter Ego Effect, called secret identities. And the alter ego shows up, takes care of business, and removes any obstacles standing in our way of achieving success. In this video, we're going to be talking about some of the key concepts and how this book single-handedly helped me overcome my fear, my self-doubt of starting an online business, and how I used it to actually start making videos like this, my own alter ego that led to having the confidence to even having a business in the first place and a YouTube channel. Some of the people that utilize this skill set, utilize this little hack called an alter ego, you've probably heard of before. Bo Jackson, Beyonce, Neil Patel, even Ken Shamrock, right? This UFC champion, all use this tool to be able to overcome themselves in order to achieve the success that they want to achieve. This isn't limited to, though, celebrities and athletes. Everyday people like me and you need to shift our identity from who we have been to who we are going to be in the future. And this tool called the alter ego is our way and path to do that. Now, I only have a short bit of time to talk to you about this, but also we got to get a workout in. It's our lunchtime here at work. And if I don't do this workout now, I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to do it ever. And by the way, if you're wondering, why is that bag there? My wife, 37 weeks pregnant as of today. And really, the baby can come anytime. So that's our go bag. So this is going to be kind of a shock. But at one point, when I first decided to become a digital entrepreneur, I knew I needed to make content. I'll find the content and put it here. But I know I look ridiculous, but there's a reason for it. I was incredibly afraid, insecure about making content. One, because like many of us, we believe that, hey, like, what do I know, right? Like, I'm just a nobody. Didn't really have the confidence to make content and say, hey, this is how I think you should live your life. Like, who am I to say that? But when I found this book, The Alter Ego Effect, they had to mention this concept of totems. Before we get there, though, I want to explain why you should even think about creating an alter ego. Because when I first got the book, honestly, I was like, wait, you want me to have multiple personalities? The answer is no, obviously, right? He's not recommending you split your personalities, become that guy from, what was it, M. Night Shyamalan. How do you say his name? That guy from Split, right? The movie M. Night Shyamalan. He's like 18 personalities. That's not what he's recommending. What he's saying is many of us have many parts of our personalities, right? We all have these different characteristics, whether it's your ability to have confidence, outspoken, aggressive, whatever the traits are, we all have them. We just need the alter ego to turn the dial on some things. And so the alter ego that I created was Raylan Leeds. I know it sounds ridiculous, but the idea was Raylan Leeds talks about leadership. I know, kind of silly, but to me it made sense. And so what I did was, because I was reading the book and he was talking about Superman, right? Clark Kent Superman. When he put on his glasses, he was this mild-mannered person, super kind, not really one to boast or have an ego. He put on the glasses, he became Clark Kent. I can talk. I did the same thing. So when I put these glasses on, it just meant that I needed to turn the dial up on my confidence. I needed to turn the dial up on my ability to be outspoken, turn the dial up on my recollection even, my memory of some of the books that I was reading at the time. And so right then and there, Raylan Leeds was born. And I started being able to put out content again and again. And so the trick is this, right? You have to understand that all of these traits are 100% still you. All you're doing is tapping into the alter ego that pushes those traits forward. It makes you just hyper-focus on those things that you want to achieve in that given time. Think about someone like Bo Jackson, for example. I don't even know what am I looking for in here. I just realized that before we do this workout, I should eat, and then I'm realizing that nothing's in here to eat. So we are going to order a sandwich. So if you don't know Bo Jackson was a football player back in the day, also played baseball. He could do just about anything. But he was a very mild-mannered person. But on the field, he was something of a savage in the best way. He was able to run through people like it was nobody's business. He scored touchdowns like nobody. But in those moments, he wasn't Bo Jackson, he was Bo. It was his alter ego. We are going to do the same thing, except for the only difference is we're not running through people on a football field. We're going into very difficult meetings with our boss. We are talking to clients if we're entrepreneurs. We're showing up online as our confident self. But in those moments, we need a little bit of help. And this is where your alter ego is going to come into play. By the way, I don't think I'm going to eat while I film this. I know how weird that sounds when I say, hey, I'm going to order a sandwich, but here's the truth. There's a place here in Phoenix called Ike's Lovin' Sandwiches, and they make some of the best sandwiches in the world. So here's the plan. I'm going to eat, and then we're going to go work out, finish up the video, and then I'll get back to work.
Tell you what, the sandwich was delicious, but eating a really heavy sandwich before working out probably was a mistake. So the question is, who is this book written for? Alter Ego, who is it for and how can it help? Well, probably the prime example is what I gave earlier, right? That you want to start making content, you don't feel confident enough to show up. And so what you do is you create an alter ego. You go through, and in the book, they have this really cool breakdowns to different behavioral traits that people have. You go through and you circle all the ones that this alter ego would have. You give it a name, and you say, this is who I need to show up in this certain scenario. God, I'm out of breath. The next part of this, once you have the name and you have the character traits that this persona of yours is going to have, you need a totem. So if you've seen the movie Inception, it's kind of the same thing. They have this totem that ties them to the real world, right? In Inception, they have these totems. Leonardo DiCaprio had that little spinny thing, which at the end you're like, oh, wait, is he still dreaming? Nobody knows. But the key is it ties you to that time period. It ties you to that moment. So the alter ego, having its own totem, does the same. Go back to Clark Kent, having the glasses. He puts them on. He knows he needs to show up as Clark Kent. That was the same idea that I used for my glasses. I knew when I put these on, it was a trigger for my brain to say, these are the traits that I'm going to have right now, that I'm calling forth of all the characteristics, all the behaviors that I have, all the character traits that I have. These are the ones that I need right now. Everything else can kind of take a back seat, which allowed me to show up as the confident person that I know I could be. So regardless of what role we play in our lives, whether it's the work you, the parenting you, the entrepreneur you, the content creator you, every single role you play in your life calls for different characteristics. And the totem will help you tie to that. So the question is, do you need this alter ego forever? I'm going to answer that in a second. I got to finish this workout real quick. Tell you what, we're back at it again with the Dad Rock playlist on Spotify. Get you real hyped for a workout. You probably can't see it anymore, but so the funny thing is about this weight belt I've had since high school. Shout out to Royal Oak High School in Michigan. I used to wear this every time I would go to the gym, or our high school gym. And when I graduated, I may or may not have forgot that I had it. Hopefully none of my high school coaches or teachers are seeing this. Funny thing is too, it says Saw Daddy on it. I don't even know what that means, but. Superman, if I'm alive, where will you be there holding my hand? Whatever happened to Three Doors Down, huh? Whew. Once you create your alter ego, depending on, again, what role you want to focus on, do you need to keep it forever? Well, the answer is no. Not always. So for example, for me, you notice as I'm filming this video right now, I don't have the Clark Kent glasses on anymore. I don't really need it because, again, you realize that over time that those characteristics are always with you. There's some part of me deep down that always was confident. There's some part of me that always did have confidence to show up on video and to explain things to people. It's just I needed something to help me get over that hump, and those were the glasses before. Eventually, I didn't really need them anymore. So Raylan Leeds just became Raylan Davis. It just became something that I knew I needed to do. But I still use the alter ego effect, and in some ways the totems even, to help me in my day-to-day life. Again, I still have many different roles that I play. I play the digital entrepreneur, I play the father, I play the husband, and so sometimes those roles require different personality traits that I have. A prime example of this is like in my business life, in my entrepreneurial life, I'm usually the leader. I'm usually taking charge. I usually am the one telling people, hey, here's what we're gonna do. And I make that assumptive language. And try doing that with your wife. It doesn't work all the time. So you have to take that hat off, that entrepreneur hat, and put on the husband hat. They have to put on the partner hat. I can't necessarily talk to my son like he's an employee of mine. It's one of those things we all kind of know, but sometimes we need help, something to help trigger us to get into that mindset, that mind frame. And that's what, again, the alter ego effect can do for you. As we wrap this video up, something I want you to think about. You know, depending on the roles that you play in your life, it may be time for you to tap in to some characteristics that you have deep inside you, but you need help bringing forth. Maybe it's time to create some alter egos. Maybe not just one, but multiple. But I want to hear from you. Do you feel like this would actually help you? Do you feel like the alter ego effect is a path forward for you in your different roles in your life that you could use to help overcome limitations, obstacles, ways of thinking, or just plain self-confidence? With that being said, leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on the video today. Thank you for watching. Hit the like, subscribe button. And with that being said, I'm going to wrap up because I have to do hip thrusts. And with this angle going on right now, listen, this is not my OnlyFans account, so I'm going to end it here. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video.